This is VOA News. I'm Marissa Melton. U.S. President Donald Trump has fired his national security advisor, John Bolton. Trump tweeted on Tuesday that Bolton had been informed his services are no longer needed at the White House. Trump said he had asked Bolton for his resignation. Bolton tweeted back he'd actually offered his resignation on Monday night. He said the president suggested at that time that they discuss it further on Tuesday. Bolton had reportedly been opposed to plans to invite Taliban members and the Afghan president to the Camp David presidential retreat for talks on a peace deal. Trump later decided to cancel that meeting. There have also been indications that Bolton, a hardliner on security issues, differed with the president on the approaches to Iran and to North Korea. Meanwhile, North Korea has offered to resume stalled nuclear talks with the United States and has also conducted yet another weapons test. More from VOA's Bill Gallo in Seoul.
Hours after offering to sit face-to-face with U.S. officials, North Korea launched its 10th round of weapons since May. South Korea's military says the two projectiles traveled 330 kilometers. The tests appear designed to increase leverage ahead of nuclear talks, if those talks ever take place. Even if talks did occur, Seoul-based political analyst June Park says it's not clear either side has softened their stance.
What will come out of the meeting is still under question because Choi Sun-mi has been noted as saying she expects to see a different kind of calculation method. And I am not quite sure whether the U.S. is ready to present something like that.
Talks have been stalled since a second summit in February between U.S. President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Bill Gallo, VOA News, Seoul.
President Trump says he's discussing the possibility of granting residents from the hurricane-hit Bahamas temporary protected status in the United States. That's short-term permission to reside there. This is VOA News. As negotiations between the U.S. and Taliban collapsed this week, the top U.N. official in Afghanistan called Tuesday for direct intra-Afghan talks to resolve the country's nearly two-decade-old conflict. Tadamichi Yamamoto told a meeting of the UN Security Council on Tuesday that direct talks between the Taliban and the Afghan government should commence as soon as possible. Earlier this week, President Trump called off peace negotiations with the Taliban that his special envoy Zalmay Khalilzad had been carrying on for almost a year. That came after the Taliban killed 12 people, including a U.S. soldier, in an attack on the capital in Kabul. The Afghan government was not part of those talks, but President Ashraf Ghani has said the government is willing to engage with the Taliban under the right conditions, which would include a ceasefire. In Britain, for the second time in a week, lawmakers voted against Prime Minister Boris Johnson's request to try and break the deadlock over Brexit through an early national election. Reuters' Chris Dingham has more.
Johnson had wanted to hold a snap election in mid-October before a European Union summit on October 17th. And before the country is due to leave the EU on October 31st. Even after a law was passed on Monday demanding Britain seek one from the EU, unless he can strike a divorce deal. Opposition Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn said the party was eager for an election, but would not support Johnson's move to hold one until it was certain a delay to Brexit had been secured.
Mr. Speaker, this government is a disgrace, and the way the Prime Minister operates is a disgrace.
Be quiet.
Parliament is now due to be suspended until October 14th.
That's Reuters' Chris Dignam reporting. President Trump has promised to release a detailed financial report of his business holdings to the public before the presidential election next year. AP correspondent Jackie Quinn.
President Trump and his business dealings have been back in the public eye after questions arose about the vice president staying at a Trump resort in Ireland last week and Air Force personnel staying at a Trump property in Scotland. So the president told reporters,
I'm going to give out my financial condition, and you'll be extremely shocked that the numbers are many, many times what you think. I don't need to have somebody take a room overnight at a hotel.
Democrats are investigating the use of taxpayer funds at Trump properties, while the president relinquished the management of the Trump organization to his sons. He didn't sell off his interest in the properties. Jackie Quinn, Washington.
And I'm Marissa Melton. You're listening to VOA News.